There has been a lot of Pokemon Go news over the last couple days. I think we got 6 or 7 events announced. So I'm going to break it down for you and give you the most important things to know about each of these upcoming events in Pokemon Go. Starting with the brand new season. It's 3 months long. It runs from December 3rd to March 4th. And at the very end of it, we get Unova Tour. It's the next event in the series of tour events. The global event is happening on March 1st and 2nd, but we're going to talk about that last, since it is the last thing out of all of these things. We're going to go in chronological order. So, coming up first, the new season starts December 3rd, and we have some new Pokemon debuting during this season. For one, Sinistea and Poltegeist will be appearing in the first event at the very start of the season. Shadow Regis will be in raids, which are honestly not that exciting. It's Shadow Raids, you can only do them in person, and the Shadow Regis just aren't that useful. But they are coming to Shadow Raids. Gigantamax Lapras is debuting, the first or the next Gigantamax Pokemon to come to Pokemon Go. We'll talk about that event also. Dynamax Machop will be debuting from December 3rd through 9th. Dynamax Machop, or Machamp, will be a good counter to Gigantamax Lapras, so it will be useful. Dynamax Krabby will follow Machop, debuting from December 9th through 23rd. The next new Dynamax Pokemon after that will be Dynamax Cryogonal, probably to coincide with the winter event, December 23rd through January 6th. Again, probably not a super important Dynamax Pokemon. Gigantamax Lapras is coming out, probably a better Ice type. And just a quick heads up that both Kingler and Machamp have Gigantamax forms that will be released eventually. And I don't know why they keep doing this. They gave us Ghastly and then Gmax Gengar, but don't over-invest in Dynamax Machop or Dynamax Krabby, because if you spend all your XL candies, for example, on a Dynamax version, when the Gmax comes out, you're going to need more candies again. Just something to keep in mind when you're deciding how to spend your resources on the new Dynamax Pokemon. And then finally, we have Chill Drive Genesect in raids from December 3rd through 12th. It's like the last Genesect with a different drive, in case that's something that you care about collecting, but personally I don't think it's that important of a Pokemon to raid. And then also returning for this season is the Expedition Access ticket. That's a $5 monthly ticket that gives you, well, the last one gave you a free single-use incubator, The last one gave you a single-use incubator every day with your first Pokestop spin of the day. So essentially for $5 you're getting 30 incubator uses. It works out to like 10 incubators, plus whatever other bonuses come with it. But just so you know, in case you want to spend the money, I don't personally want to. So that's a quick overview of the new Pokemon we know are coming out throughout the season. Let's talk in a little bit more detail about all the events that are happening. The first one is called Just My Cup of Tea. It's the first event of the season. It runs from December 3rd at 10 a.m. to December 7th at 8 p.m. This is the event where Sinistea and Poltegeist are going to be debuting. However, the shinies will not be released. And for the most part, it's a pretty ordinary event. You're going to have field research, timed research, collection challenge, showcases, all the standard stuff. But on Incense, there will be boosted shinies. So if you use an Incense during the Just My Cup of Tea event, Oddish, Miltank, Combee, Gothita, Litwick, and Spritzee will be appearing on Incense with increased shiny odds. Personally, I think that's probably the most exciting feature of the event. Other than that, like I said, it's pretty typical, pretty standard. Next up, we have the Aspiring Dragons Research Day on December 7th from 2 to 5 p.m. It's a research day, meaning you're going to spin Pokestops, get field research tasks, and they're going to lead to encounters with Horsey, Trapinch, Swablu, and Skrelp, aspiring dragons, Pokemon that become dragon type when they evolve. So, like all research days, they'll probably have boosted shiny odds, and there is a $2 timed research that lets you choose one of those featured Pokemon to get more encounters. So say you need like shiny Skrelp, you can buy the research, choose the Skrelp path, and you'll get a bunch of encounters with Skrelp just to have extra chances of finding that specific Pokemon that you're looking for. The announcement said that you could maybe choose a second one, like I think you could buy more than one timed research, which, man, I mean, this is where the game is at right now, right? Like one microtransaction per event is not enough. So now they're letting you buy 2 tickets to this event so you can spend even more. It's up to you. If you need the shinies, go for it. You know how I feel. I don't love buying these microtransaction event tickets for Pokemon Go. But that's Aspiring Dragons Research Day. Horsey, Trapinch, Swablu, Skrelp are the featured Pokemon. Next up, the next day, the same weekend, we have Gigantamax Lapras Raid Day, December 8th from 2 to 5 p.m. So Gmax Lapras will be debuting. You're really going to want to find a campfire meetup or coordinate with your local community, because we all know Gigantamax raids are pretty difficult. If you do plan on playing, the best counters for Gmax Lapras are going to be Toxtricity, it's electric type, Machamp, which is coming out soon as a fighting type, Phalanx as a fighting type, and even Venusaur as a grass type. As long as the Gmax Lapras isn't using ice type moves, Venusaur will be pretty good. Metagross will be a great defensive Pokemon. If you have a Metagross that knows Max Spirit, Max Guard, you want to play the healer for your party, Metagross is going to resist a lot of Lapras's moves, so it's going to be a good defensive Pokemon to use. With the Gmax Lapras Raid Day, there's a new item debuting. It's called Max Mushroom. It doubles the attack damage of all of your moves in a max battle until the timer runs out. So from what I understand, you use the item kind of in the map like you would use an Incense or a Lucky Egg, and it's going to last for a certain amount of time, and during that time, any max battles that you do, you're going to do double damage. I don't know if this was an item that was planned from the beginning, or if this was something that they decided to introduce because people were struggling so much with Gigantamax battles. But it feels like the most pay-to-win feature we've ever had in Pokemon Go. Literally pay to double your damage. The only way to get a Max Mushroom currently is from the $5 timed research that's going along with this Gigantamax Lapras Raid Day. There's a $5 timed research, and it's going to reward you 1 Max Mushroom in addition to some other bonuses during the event. The announcement doesn't say that there's any other way to get Max Mushrooms currently. It doesn't even say you can buy them in the shop. If you can buy them in the shop, they'll probably be expensive, considering you get 1 mushroom from a $5 timed research. See, this is why I can't make videos about new events, because it ends up being me just complaining about how many microtransactions they're shoving into this game now. Anyway, Max Mushrooms, it'll double your damage in the max raids. The timed research sounds like the only way to get it right now, but maybe there will be other ways in the future, hopefully. That's Gmax Lapras Raid Day. The next event is Necrozma Raid Day, the following weekend, December 14th from 2 to 5 p.m. Duskmane and Dawnwing's Necrozma will be in raids. When you beat the raid, it's going to go to just a regular Necrozma. It's going to have an increased shiny chance, so you can get shiny Necrozma from it. You'll get 7 free raid passes for the day when you visit gyms in person. The remote raid limit will be 20 for the event, so 20 remote raids. And remember, for Necrozma, you need 1,000 fusion energy, so the solar or lunar fusion energy to make the fusion forms. You get about 80 to 120 per raid, so like an average of 10 raids will get you enough energy to make one of the fusion forms. Personally, I made my one Dawnwings fusion and I haven't unfused it, so it'll probably just stay that way forever. Unlike Origin Form Dialga and Palkia, the Necrozma fusion form's ability isn't really that exciting. It essentially acts as an incense. Duskmane will attract daytime Pokemon spawns, and Dawnwings will attract nighttime Pokemon spawns. That's kind of it. Not that exciting. But hey, if you need more fusion energy or you want shiny Necrozma, December 14th is the raid day. Now, let's talk about the last event, Go Tour Unova. By now we're all pretty familiar with the Go Tour events. Unova is the next installment, and it has both a global component and an in-person, actually 2 in-person events for the first time. So the first weekend from February 21st through 23rd, it's going to happen in person in LA, again, same location as last year for Sinnoh Tour, at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, and there's also going to be an event in Taiwan, in New Taipei City, the same exact weekend. And then the global version of the event will be the following weekend, March 1st and 2nd. Obviously, as someone who lives in LA, I'm very excited that the event is coming back to my city. Should I have another party? I had an after party last year, and it was probably the most fun part of the whole weekend for me. I don't know, let me know in the comments. Should I have another party? Are you planning on coming to the Go Tour event in LA? Would you come to my after party? Anyway, but I'm also very excited for global Go Tour, because March 1st and 2nd, that's the start of my next group trip in Japan. So for everyone who's coming on the group trip starts March 2nd, meaning we'll all pretty much be there for the event on the 1st and 2nd. So real quick, in case anyone's unfamiliar, I've been hosting group trips with viewers of my channel. You can come with me on a trip to Japan. The link's in the description. And the next trip to Osaka and Kyoto starts March 2nd, meaning we'll be there together at least on the 2nd. If you get there a day or two early, you can play the entire global event in Japan. And I'm just really excited because it's the first time we've had like a big event coincide with one of the group trips. So it'll be fun to like get everyone together for a really major Pokemon Go event in Japan. Of course, aside from getting lucky with the Go Tour dates, it is also just a full itinerary, a full week in Japan, in Osaka and Kyoto. We're going to Osaka Castle, Fushimi Inari Taisha, Nara Deer Park. So if anyone's interested in coming, there are a few spots left for the trip. On top of all the trip activities, obviously, you get to play Go Tour in Japan, which is pretty exciting. The link's in the description. Just a few spots left. Go check it out if you're interested. But let's talk about Go Tour Unova. It's pretty typical at this point, right? We know how these Go Tours go. Almost all of the Gen 5 Pokemon shinies will be released. Sinnoh Tour was the first time we didn't get the rest of the shinies or even the rest of the Pokemon. We still don't have Manaphy and Fion. But for Unova Tour, we are definitely getting Shiny Meloetta. Shiny Meloetta will be the featured mythical Pokemon available through the research. And in addition to Shiny Meloetta being released, we are getting, I think, the rest of the Gen 5 shinies. So Shiny Deerling, all 4 forms of Shiny Deerling will be released, and the regionals will finally be released as shiny. So Sigilyph, Bouffalante, and Maractus will be available in 10-kilometer eggs during the event and will be released as shiny. And that applies to both the in-person and the global event. I don't see it specifically mentioned, but I'm assuming we're also going to get Black and White Kyurem debuting. There was kind of a teaser at the end of the trailer for the new season. So Black and White Kyurem would be a pretty safe bet for Unova Tour, or maybe sooner, but probably Unova Tour. That's it for all the news. I'll go into more detail about Unova Tour in an upcoming video. We'll talk about whether or not it's really worth the price of the ticket. But for now, let me know which of these events you're most excited for. Are you planning on attending any of the in-person events in LA, New Taipei City, maybe joining me in Osaka for Global? And if you missed it, check out this video from the Wild Area event over the weekend. It was a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed the Wild Area event a lot more than I thought I was going to. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.